All right. All right.
Well, hello.
All right.
It's 4:55. It's January 28th. We're going to do a podcast episode 25. 25 fucking podcasts. I listen to podcasts online. Like, I listen to podcasts, big, like, dudes that should, pretty big podcasts, and they don't even have fucking 25 episodes out.
Who? Who do you listen to that doesn't have 25?
Sean Whalen doesn't have fucking 25 episodes out.
But that's because his heart's not really in it.
I don't know. Fucking
Come on, Sean.
Forcella has, I want to say...
You got to bump those numbers
I
up.
want to say the MFCEO, I want to say they only have 200 and change out.
Well, I mean,
he's the number one.
But he's got 200, so we got a while to catch up.
We've been doing this 3 weeks.
I know, but I bet he doesn't do one every day.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
How many does Rogan do a podcast every day?
No, he does, I believe, 2 or 3 a week.
What's he doing when he's not doing that?
Well, he's got his company. He's obviously a judge for MMA.
Is he still MMA?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a guy. And he's got money. He can do whatever he wants.
Anything
Work
you want to
out.
talk about?
No, I don't have anything in particular.
I don't either. Rifle case video went live. Well, you guys, by the time you fucking see this, by the time you hear this,
it'll be not live anymore.
Rifle case video's live. This podcast will probably go up tomorrow morning. The video of this will go up 2 or 3 days after that. So today is Monday. So when you hear this, go to the SOE Facebook page, look at the video that's up. There's a link to the YouTube there for it. And we're going to do a rifle bag giveaway. I've got 3 or 4 seconds. As you guys know, we typically auction those off, and they go for even more than normal retail, usually when we auction them. We're going to give a few away, a couple, 2, maybe 3, on Facebook and Instagram. There's a post there. If you comment on it, if you listen to this, chances are you already saw it. You've already commented. On live feed tomorrow morning or early afternoon, we will do those giveaways. I've got some stuff I printed off a couple videos. We'll just start off the MAGA hat one in the kitchen there. And we'll go off those. Holy shit, this dude is retarded. You're not even using your own fucking photographs. I don't know who you're fucking talking about being retarded. Hell yeah, bring the breakfast videos back.
Maybe he's talking about this guy up here.
The MAGA guy?
No, that's you.
Yeah. He commented a couple hours ago on a...
Look at his fucking... Okay.
Yeah, it's the dude. He goes by the dude.
The dude
He
is
thinks
a
he's
dude.
the big Lebowski. I love when Skully gets riled up. What else gets him riled up?
M1 Abrams. I'm kidding. Unless you have one, then we'll talk.
It's no coincidence they passed the abortion to be legal at 9-month birth. They need the body parts on the way, or one way or the... Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Not really. They don't need the body parts. At 9 months, they don't need the body parts. Everything that they want, right? Everything they want is in that initial stage. So actually, early term abortions are better for what they want, as far as the stem cells and all that. Taking it all the way to 9 months doesn't give them anything. All of that stuff. We're actually coming to a threshold in science where they're actually going to start making this shit in the lab from scratch. Yeah, they'll use, DNA and stem cells from aborted fetus or wherever they're going to get their stem cells from. They'll use that, but we're on the verge of them just being able to be like, all right, give me some bone marrow, John. We're going to grow you a new arm. It's coming. I mean, they're already growing ears. They're already growing skin tissue. It's coming to where they're not going to need to harvest.
Don't let Nancy fool you. The satanic cunt tried to kill Trump for the 12th time and bone out with family. She got caught red-handed. Let's play the deep state pedo game. Let's play their deep state pedo game.
If you haven't paid attention to what's going on, and I don't know if did I give my theory, my crazy conspiracy theory?
So you did, and I saw fucking 100 more of them today. That's almost right in line with yours. In addition, we heard Wednesday or Thursday that somebody got caught with shoulder-fired rockets in a plot to assassinate Trump. I saw a video today on YouTube, which was right along everything Jeff said. In addition to, they did find a dude with rockets, and they actually made an arrest, and they actually published his name today. They said on the video his name. I sent you the link to that.
I haven't been able to look at it.
You got any more on that?
No. I mean, it just I'm not a big conspiracy theory person, but I mean, you had Nancy Pelosi literally running around for 3 days going, the threat level is really high. I'm the third in line to be president.
What you also
But you, Speaker of the House, you have never, ever heard a Speaker of the House come out and go, I'm the third in line for president. You've never. She is the first Speaker of the House to do that. And then you have all this shit going on.
You also have on Martin Luther King Day some of her aides twittering celebrating Martin Luther King Day, something to the effect of, I can't remember what it was. Basically basically alluding that Trump was going to be assassinated. Somebody in Pelosi's camp was tweeting about Madam President Pelosi winning hearts and minds and celebrating this lovely Martin Luther King Day or something to that effect.
Yeah, understandably though, she can't. It's not just kill Trump. She has to also kill the Vice President Pence, which
would have been the case
if Pence and Trump had actually come down to. They were coming down here to the south somewhere for one of Trump's rallies, and they canceled it. And that's kind of what has made this whole thing domino into this plot to assassinate the president.
Self-made is the best feeling. Every single relevant lost soul in Hollywood sold their starfish to be where they are. May they burn in hell for eternity. Luciferian globalist pedo scumbags are going down. Deplorable. Those last three comments were deplorable.
I would say this. As far as that's concerned, is kind of actually look at the reality of it. Who's going down? Like, who's actually gone down? Nobody's actually going down for any of this shit. Even the people that are heavily connected. So when you think about Harvey Weinstein, New York dismissed their case. So Harvey Weinstein's not going down, and he kind of started all this. Bill Cosby was sacrificed at the altar of women's rights. That's all that was. They had to sacrifice Bill Cosby. He's old, and he was not Hollywood relevant. So it was easy to sacrifice Bill Cosby to the wolves. But all the people who perpetuate this stuff that keeps it going, none of them are getting in trouble. None of them are getting in trouble. I mean, I want you to think about this. Oprah Winfrey was supplying girls to Harvey Weinstein.
And when questioned, she said they were all of age.
Yeah, they were all of age.
Or it was all consensual, I think she said.
She knew exactly what Harvey Weinstein was doing.
I'm Hispanic and never will never vote Democrat.
That's good. You shouldn't vote Democrat because they're just patronizing you anyways. That's all they're doing. They're just patronizing you. The Democrats, take a look at what they're doing. They're not raising anybody out of poverty. They're not helping anybody. All they're doing is keeping the slaves happy.
Resharpening your craft knife blade.
I don't have a craft knife blade, but
I don't even know what the fuck that's. I like the cut of your jib.
That has to do with, that's a euphemism.
No, I get the jib, yeah.
How about your chin?
Cut of your jib? I thought it's a sailor thing. I hear the SEALs say it a lot.
Because the jib is a sail on a sailing ship.
Right.
And so it's actually reference. People think it's a reference to your nose, saying you've got a good nose.
I thought these videos would stop. Now you have the podcast Pulling Thread videos. You're still putting these out. Man alive, this is. Well, it brings light into my life. Thank you all, the good folks at SLE. Daniel Marshall, man, just fucking...
You're welcome, Daniel.
Talk normal. Just talk normal. This episode was brought to you by Pizza Hut, your neighborhood tactical pizza joint. Pizzagate, Tennessee.
Pizzagate. Is there a Pizza Hut in Tennessee?
There's one right in fucking Camden.
Oh, is there one in Camden? Maybe we should go check it out, see if they got a basement.
Rudy was created equal. That's the name of him 3 days ago. I'm for open borders. You guys up for debate video. No, because I looked at your YouTube page and you have no fucking followers or subscribers. All you're looking to do is try to get some fucking followers and subscribers. Post some videos. Fucking send us a link to them. Let's see your material, and then we'll fucking talk about doing a debate video with you.
And there's nothing good about open borders anyways.
I know you say you were fine with the government shutdown, but in reality, the government isn't shut down. Good point. Over half of the 800,000 are working without pay and to keep services running as usual. I agree with Skully. If you want to shut down the government, shut it down. No one working without pay to keep the government and the American people comfortable. I had a guy, maybe it's in one of these videos or maybe it's on one of the Instagram posts, said that all ICE, INS, and Border Patrol, TSA, and he named a few others, have been working, went 2 paychecks without a paycheck. 2 pay cycles without a paycheck. I did not know that. Border Patrol and all your ICE guys and stuff, he said. I got to get down there to meet you guys. If Skully and I started talking about the federal government shit show, everyone could stand around to see who starts bleeding from the ears first.
Well, it's true. Government shit show.
For once, I would like to see Trump tard have critical thinking. They never acknowledged that Trump could be wrong.
Wrong about what, though? I mean, I will tell you this. This is what's wrong with Trump. Trump's biggest problem and his biggest frailty is he thinks Twitter, he's talking in his head, but he's putting it on Twitter. If he got off of Twitter, people would be talking about he's the greatest president ever. Because it's just the shit that he does on Twitter that pisses people off. Go look at what he is actually doing. Look at the laws and the things that he has passed. The reality is he's done a lot of shit that Democrats should be going like this. Thank you.
I saw a video today talking about his fence or wall or whatever. It was a dude in the Senate addressing, I believe, Nancy Pelosi. And who's the congressman from Colorado?
I don't know who's from Colorado.
Anyways, it's like 45 minutes, and the dude was fucking very well spoken. I believe he's a congressman as well, and he was saying that everything Trump's wanting to do with this wall right now, they all voted for. All the Democrats that were in chambers voted for 2 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was, and they all agreed for it. Every one of them agreed to this, and it's just because they all hate Trump is really what he fucking came out and said that. I don't vote. I don't have the rights to vote on my rights, because I'm a felon. I could get them reinstored. I don't know that I would go vote anyways. If I could vote this next time, though, I would definitely vote for Trump. Having not been a voter for ever. I don't believe that I've ever voted. I became a felon when I was 17. I never bothered to do the paperwork to get my rights restored. I've never voted, but I would go out and vote right now. Right now, this year, my life is better because of the things that Trump has done. My taxes are lower. My health insurance is lower. The things that I have to pay, things are better for me because of things that Donald Trump fucking did. I mean, you can't say the same thing about fucking Clinton. You can't say the same thing about Obama. Shit, I couldn't say the same thing about Bush. Everything financially right now is to my advantage from what fucking Donald Trump has done. So with that, there's another dude, Pistol Maniac 1003. First of all, dude, I've seen you post several times. You can see through fences. Why does this dumbass want a wall? Dumbass, you're the motherfucker standing there with sunglasses on. Like, that's your photo. It's like a mugshot, but with fucking pictures. Why don't you use a real fucking name? Like, okay, you don't want the fence, you don't want the wall, whatever the fuck it is. We don't really give a shit. We don't really give a shit. As far as immigration, I got no problem with fucking Mexicans coming into this fucking country. If I had a population of fucking Hispanic labor here, legal or illegal, we would figure out a way to employ them. They're not fucking here. I would hire fucking 20 of them tomorrow. But that's not what this is about. That's not what the wall is about. So whatever. Go make your own fucking videos. If you don't like our videos, why are you here fucking so frequently commenting on them? Because I've seen you comment on many of them. Droplix3. Where the fuck do they come up with these names? Great video. What is the song at the end of the video? I'm not sure, but my guess is that it's Eye for an Eye, Tools to Survive. It's a song that they wrote about me and SOE. Eye for an Eye put it out. It is on it's on our YouTube channel. You can find it if you like that music. Go look up Eye for an Eye. Eye for the letter I, the number 4, the letter N, the letter I. Eye for an Eye. Look them up on YouTube. They've got a ton of material out. They're actually here in Tennessee. Bradley Cooper as well. As soon as he did that movie for Eastwood, American Sniper, it's as if his career had dried up. Bradley Cooper.
Well, that's Bradley Cooper's directing. He's directing his own movies now.
He did Limitless.
Yeah, so there could be something to that because once that dries up, you got to move somewhere else. But I think Bradley Cooper's going to be fine. He is still a box office draw, so it's one of those things. It's like we were talking about the other day about Chris Pratt, and it's funny that we were talking about Chris Pratt the other day. And what up on high Chris Pratt is, and we were talking about, he's got to be careful because the powers that be do not want you to be religious in Hollywood. Period. They do not want that. They want you to worship at the altar of Weinstein and whoever is in charge now. But just recently, I saw Chris Pratt is taking a bunch of heat because he went to a church. He went to a church that in the past has put out some anti-gay philosophies or whatever you want to call it. So he's taking heat for that right now, which means the only thing he's really taking heat for is his faith. That's it. They have to go after his faith. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Roy and Brittany Ayers. Oh, wow. Somebody with a real fucking actual name. Y'all are some real down-to-earth dudes, and I like how you run your business. If given a chance, I would up and move to Tennessee from in Southwest Virginia to work for you. We've had some Southwest Virginia guys.
Yeah, we've had. We had one that drove here every day.
So I was going to say, you wouldn't even have to move. You could come work here for 6 months, try it out.
Yeah.
See if we're gonna, if you fit.
If you fit, yeah.
You could drive here on Monday and then drive back on Friday, and don't tell me it can't be done because the dude that did it
for 6
months, and he's like your handicapped little brother. So,
oh man.
So if you can't do it, I don't know. Trump is a closet Zionist. He's pro-Israel, and Rothschilds gave him billions of dollars back in the 90s. Now they got him. Maybe.
And the other thing too is, who the fuck are you? What do you got a problem with?
That's Roy and Brittany Ayers.
What do you got a problem with being pro-Zionist? What's wrong with being pro-Israel? There's nothing wrong with being pro-Israel. They're the only fucking stable country in that part of the world. Without Israel, we would have thousands and thousands of more Americans over there right now fighting all them fucked up countries. There is nothing wrong with being pro-Israel. As a matter of fact, we should be more pro-Israel because they are the thorn in the side of all those fucked up, terrible countries. We should be more pro-Israel. Send them more F-15s, more F-18s, more fucking M16s. Or we should let Israel do whatever the fuck they want over there. We should be more pro-Israel. And that's coming from somebody who's not Jewish.
Same couple says, Hollywood is all satanic. You can't make it big unless you sell your soul, hence the name Hollywood. What does that have to do with Hollywood? Because it's Hollywood. The wood holly is something to do with Satanism. Here it is. It's what supposed witches make their wands from, the holly tree. I thought they also used the center of a feather from the phoenix, as well as the part of the inner horn from a unicorn. And
it's the other thing too is it's not always been Hollywood, or like the Hollywood sign. Part of it burnt, and they never repaired it and left it the way it is. You look that up. I'm pretty sure that's correct.
So what did it used to be?
It was something. It was Hollywood, but it was Hollywood something, and part of the sign burnt.
Mickey Colgan. John, I see you guys go through a lot of bacon in that kitchen. Just curious, do you guys buy from big box or local farm? I love the kitchen conversation videos. That's all Walmart, bro.
All Walmart.
Our chef goes every Sunday into Nashville, 90-minute drive, 2-hour drive, and shops at Whole Foods. And as well as hitting 2 or 3 other butchers Like our tri-tip comes from a butcher. We order a case of tri-tip every week.
He gets pork belly from there,
pork
too.
belly comes from there. But our bacon is I'm pretty sure we still use Wright's Applewood smoked bacon, thick cut from Walmart.
Yeah. There's no real butchery around this area, so even if
we don't even have a real grocery store.
If you wanted to harvest your own pigs or your own cow, there's nobody around here to do that legally, in the sense of FDA approved and all that.
Edward Brown, I know there's plenty of occult in music. Check out the Crossroads and Papa Legba story. Isn't Papa Legba voodoo supposed to be the devil? Many people and groups leave convincing statements. John Johnson, Plant, Dylan, that subject's all over media. All right. Rob Friedmore 3 days ago says,
the only problem with the Crossroads is no matter what deal you make with the devil, he's going to get you in the end.
If Christians were perfect, they wouldn't need a savior. This guy says, worked in the trades, always feast or famine for work. Unemployment was low, took weeks while you kept hustling for work. No bankruptcy, no vacation sick days, no kick to pension. That's the grind for free market people. So TSA, DMV, government, etc. People think of us on that work wall every night. The Marines keep you safe at night. Free market people make sure eat good all the time. I'm not sure what there's some words missing there. Good stuff, guys. If I can get more and permanent shutdown, I'll be happy.
Shutdown is the shutdown, but remember, it actually affects a very small portion of the federal government. And you see what they did, right? They reopened the government. Those guys are all getting back paid, so they don't. It's not like they shut the government down and they're like, go home, nobody's getting paid. They're actually working, and they're still going to get paid. And I believe they get a little kicker too. So they're all getting paid. They just got paid. And then they're going to get paid again before the 3 weeks is up. And then supposedly he's going to close the government again. So, I mean...
I saw a video of him today saying that if they don't pass this, he's going to declare a national emergency and do the wall himself.
He ought to declare a national emergency and arrest Nancy Pelosi.
I wonder why that hasn't happened. I wonder why nobody's actually ever done that. Guy's a joke. As a Native American, I'm ashamed of Chief. He's making all natives look bad with reverse racism and stolen valor fake news. Freaking Skully got me addicted to Diet Pepsi now.
Don't get addicted to Diet Pepsi. It is a mean mother, she is. Plus, John says that they use human embryo stem cells and baby toes to make every bottle of Diet Pepsi, which... Some good baby toes. That's all I'm saying.
It's not just good. Pepsi. Look up fetuses used in food. The FDA approval on that. There's actually a surprising list. I'd like to have a nickel for every time a Bic has been flicked at SOE.
Oh God, a penny. I would just go with a penny, man.
Can our dude do a Bic lighter now? We have a new guy that literally can't flick a lighter. He can't turn the lighter on.
I think Nick gave him a good enough school, and he's watched enough people now where he's kind of in there. The better video would have been him helping to lift the tires.
Oh, dude. Just now? Yeah. Chef is starting to look Amish with his beard. Get that dude an Amish hat to wear while he cooks. Yes, you guys...
He is Amish, actually.
Yes, you guys need to go viral. We can't go viral without you guys making us go viral.
But I don't want to be viral.
I work for the Forestry Service as a firefighter. We all have to continue to work with no pay. Most of us are for the wall, but we still have to respond to medical calls and fire calls. The Forest Service is a big part of the 80,000. Good video, by the way. You know what I haven't seen? I haven't seen anybody come out who is being furloughed, who is against Trump or not for Trump or doesn't even agree with the wall.
I may have seen somebody in our morning beatdown of CNN News on 900 TVs. I may have seen one or two, but the question is, what do they do? I mean, it sucks if you're not getting paid, right? It sucks if you're not getting paid. But the reality of the matter is, unless you quit, you're going to get paid. It's no different than, You know, a guy sitting in Afghanistan right now, he's getting paid, but he don't get to touch none of that money, not for another fucking 4 months. It's tough times, but especially you as a firefighter, I mean, truth be told, you should have 3 months saved away in your checking account at all times in case something like this happens. And that's not just for people who work for the government. I mean,
and that's
anybody.
Service. I would think Forest Service is probably seasonal.
It just depends on where it's at. I mean, fuck, dude, if he's working in California, there's no season anymore. Those guys they're on the line fucking 24/7. Right, and I will tell you this, I had a scout sniper who worked for me, or one of my Marines, who did a bunch of crazy jobs. He was a police officer, he was a fucking landscaper, like rock landscaper in Arizona, not a grass cutting landscaper, rock landscaper in Arizona. And he was he worked on a fire crew up in Colorado. And he said out of all those jobs, the fucking fire crew was the fucking hardest work he'd ever done in his life.
True Gunner, I believe that's my man Jacob. Not Jacob, you know. It wasn't Muslim gear those black guys were wearing. And they are assholes. Amanda, they don't just accost white kids and people. They accost blacks, Hispanics, along with a host of others.
Yeah, that's the... it's an offshoot of the... We're talking about the guys that were at the Lincoln Memorial. They weren't Muslims. They're actually an offshoot of... It's not even a... I mean, I don't want to put this on the Jewish nation, but... They're an offshoot organization. They're the Black Jews. It's not recognized by anybody. It's one of those things that got made up in the 70s. That's right, made up in the 70s, kind of like Kwanzaa. And they're not doing... Here's the thing. If you're a religious organization and you have time to go there and do what they were doing, then you are not a religious organization. You should be out doing God's work, which is good works. Not chastising kids in the fucking park.
Ooh. A man named Bill Smith, I'm guessing this is a response to the wildland the firefighter guy. He said it's winter, and you aren't a medical first responder if you're a Fed wildland guy. From an OSC2. Be a good Fed and put your fires out this summer.
Hey, don't start fights among us, man! We're all in this together! Power of the people!
I don't know if you guys read this or not, but there are reports that the wall is already funded. I thought the wall was funded years ago. Here's
the thing: government funding is always it's always 5 years out. Even though they're talking about paying for it now, they are. I said this a couple weeks ago, I guess. If you look up building of the wall. They are currently building the wall right now. There's guys out there. Because Nancy Pelosi, that's right, Nancy Pelosi and Obama funded 2,300 miles of the wall already. They've already funded it?
Well, he's asking for $48 billion, is that what it is?
$57 billion.
Because whatever they funded 2, 3, 4 years ago, it's more than what he's asking for.
Yeah, it's more than what he's asking for. So it's a crock of shit. This has nothing to do with we don't need a wall. Whatever their argument is, it's asinine because they have already high-fived it several times. You figure Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi have both been, their fucking old wrinkly asses have both been up there since the 80s. Okay?
I think Schumer's the dude from Colorado.
No, probably, well, not talking shit about... Anyway, so those two have both been up there since the fucking 80s. And they have been signing off on that since then. To suddenly this year, they're like, oh no, the wall is bad. Ooh, it's purely politics. And the sad part is, for the 800,000 employees who weren't getting paid, they're playing politics with you. They're using you as the leverage screw to get Trump to crumble on something that they already fucking agreed to. Fuck those two.
John, question. Any chance in the near future you guys will do a run of multicam butt packs? We just recently did, didn't we? They fucking sold out.
I don't think we did multicam black because I don't think it's ever been offered. I don't think it's ever been offered.
What?
Multicam black butt pack?
No, multicam.
Oh, multicam.
Ed Woe, send an email, john@originalsoegear.com, and just say that same thing. What'll happen is I will reply to you, yes, we will make some. I don't know when we'll make them, but when we do, we'll send you an email. Then I print that. Jeff pulls any orders we have for them. We look through them, figure out what we got, and then he goes, what do you want to do? 6, 12, 18, 24 extra. We build them. The day they finish, I send you an email. You better look for it because you got a couple hours before we put them up live. When we put them up live and post photos on social media, they're gone literally in minutes.
They're gone, especially in multicam. That'll be gone.
Democrats have, and right now, like, our labor, like, our back orders are fucking dwindling. They're going every week. We start with less than we had the week before. Even with new orders coming in, we're still shipping fucking 80% of our shit same or next day on our orders. All our labor right now is going into these rifle cases. We've been building rifle cases. You guys don't know this. We've been building rifle cases for 2 weeks. When you started seeing pictures of rifle cases, we started building rifle cases. We still didn't even tell you until fucking Friday that we were building rifle cases. Friday, 2 weeks after the fact. By the time you see this video, tomorrow there'll be a live video up of us giving some rifle cases away. We shipped dozens of rifle cases today. We've got dozens of more out there that are built right now. So while I know some dipshit's going to be like, well, why don't you just build extra butt packs? Because we don't fucking have to. That's why. Because literally everything we make sells. And I would rather make less and have it sell out fast so that it builds a fucking urgency for you guys that come along 5 days later and you're like, where'd these go? Well, you should have fucking been here looking. Like, we do this on purpose. We just don't have the manpower. In 10 years of being here, we've never had the manpower. Even in California, we never had the manpower, where things were much better labor-wise. Really, why? Because we were using fucking Mexicans. That's why. We just cannot find the labor here. We've got people working. We have great fucking people working here on the sew floor. But most of them, you know, they've been here years. Like, we hire, believe me, we hire everyone that every fucking one of them that walks through the door that wants a job. We give them a job whether we need them or not. And we try to develop them. And usually we waste 90 days worth of money on them is typically what happens. Democrats have 2 IQ levels, useful idiots and petty tyrants. The first group is too stupid to know they are being used, and the second group is smart enough and convincing enough to lie to those idiots.
I believe you on that one. That sounds about true. I can't. It's like Bernie Sanders just came out and said he's going to run for fucking president. He took a cash payment to not take the Democratic nomination. He sold himself out. Everybody that was, all you know, fine, liberal, waving the flag, Bernie Sanders give us free college, the motherfucker sold you out. And now he's going to run again? Why would you even, how could you even campaign for that man? He sold you out. He took a fucking cash payment and let Hillary have the nomination. How is he even a contender? You really should be rallying around his house right now, throwing eggs at his ass because he sold all you guys out. But, you know, when I say you guys, I mean, you know who I'm talking about. Ring in your nose. Purple hair.
Fuck the black Israelites. They're hate mongers, and they stirred that shit up. They're hoping for a race war, but would never make it to the real shit. Never make it in a real shit hit fan situation. Rock Hop, that's who you were talking about, black Israelites.
Yeah, the black Israelites. It's not a real thing.
FAA tech here.
Uh-oh,
we were
FAA.
told today that the RIF isn't applicable here because of some crap about the type of shutdown. Whatever. Missing second paycheck tomorrow, but we're enjoying the shit show. Tony Kaiser leaves a blank.
Thanks for keeping the airplanes in the sky. It's, you know, you're going to get paid.
Tony Kaiser. We had people flying during the shutdown. We went to the airport fucking twice during the shutdown. It was actually, the lines were fucking faster. It seemed like shit was running fucking smoother during the fucking shutdown. Like,
that's because the TSA guys were just like this.
Is that what was going on? Glenn Beck on the MAGA Kids, he gives a link. I saw Glenn Beck. He looks like a fucking tub of melted butter now. Like, I saw a video by him today. He needs to take some of his time and get a fucking trainer. He's a what?
The new Alex Jones.
Yeah, he's the new fearmonger selling some cookies or something at the end. Chef is starting to look Amish. fucking twice. You guys need to go viral. Oh, you know what? I put that at the back. Okay, that's all of those. Now,
why don't you get over here? It's over here.
Video that went live today. This is the next video. You want to do it?
The video that went live today.
This is the one we did out in the garage.
Oh, okay. What?
Stim Junkie Review. He reviews stimulants. That's his YouTube channel. Or his
You should be typing
Instagram.
a whole lot faster.
Hillbilly Church, Creek Squad. I'm guessing he's talking about Up Church. I don't know. One question, John. Why the closet storage room? Are you building a dedicated podcast room? We're not.
No.
We actually do this just because dudes are like, man, why don't you build a fucking... We have, believe me, dude, we have all of the shit to do it. We don't make money from doing this. This is not what we do. We can't track any money back to it. You figure we stand in here and spend an hour in here. You have the two most expensive fucking high-paid employees in the company spending 2 man-hours here. Unfortunately, we've got 10 little minions running around out here. Not our floor, ladies. There's 10 other fucking people running around here. Jeff and I literally fucking do, for every 1 minute of work they do, in the same minute, we do fucking 20 minutes of work, unfortunately. So, we're just not.
It's him. He's the workaholic.
What is the art world's story? Skully, don't you dare hurt a great white shark.
Did I say I was going to hurt a great white shark?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I was going to make something out of great white shark skin.
Oh, it's Kips. It's Kips.
Hey, Kips, we're going to do a...
Kips, fucking sharks eat tons of Mexicans every fucking day.
Kips, we're going to...
Stay out of the water.
We're going to do it like a graph. We're just going to take pieces of sharks, so no sharks will be killed in the making of whatever I would... And I think it was a rig or something out of shark skin.
We're going to make a tool bag.
Tool bag, yeah. No sharks will be actually killed in the harvesting of those.
I want a megalodon jaw set.
I don't even know what a megalodon looks like.
It's a great white, but like 100 times.
Oh, yeah, the big one. The one where the people are standing inside their mouth.
You know, most of that shit you guys see, most of your, like, dinosaur bones and your cool dinosaur skeletons and your shark fucking jaws and all that shit, that's not real shit. And do you know that even the parts of the dinosaur skeletons that are real dinosaur fossils, do you know that's not bone? That's the bone is deteriorated and minerals have deposited in there. The art story is there is a fucking world famous art critic. Like, this is recently, like in the last 20 years. World famous art critic. I believe he's over in fucking England or something. Writes for all the art journals, writes for fucking all the, Esquire magazine, anything to do with fucking, money people. So he's reviewing all these artists, and basically they set the trends. It's the same thing with the music. Like, you hear NF, a rapper, Christian rapper. He talks about, a lot of times these artists you hear now that are hot, they've been around for 20 years. Somebody finally just, they sucked the right dick or joined the right club or fucking sold their soul finally to get where they needed to go. And that's what happened. This dude thought to himself, this is such a sham. So he started painting in his living room or his kitchen. He started painting these paintings, and they were fucking really terrible. Like a lot of stuff you look at an art museum, there's some beautiful shit there, right? There's also some shit where you look at it and you're like, what the fuck? Like, it literally looks like I just started throwing paint at the wall and shit, right?
Roman Polanski.
So that's what fucking happened. He painted some shit, showed it to some people, told them this was the next up-and-comer, started kind of some fucking whisperings and talks around. I just saw that in a movie. What was the movie with Chris Tucker in it, with the quadriplegic dude?
I have not
Same
seen
thing.
it.
So the quadriplegic dude is basically like an investment dude. He's like how to fucking, maneuver your money into larger investments and shit. And he's got this dude that lives down. He has the whole upstairs floor in this 20-story building. And the dude downstairs, he's kind of a turd. And he basically has a problem that he has hired this guy really because he's black. He's a felon, a bunch of shit. So he kind of like, fuck you, whatever, I'm going to do what I want to do. I own this building kind of shit. He's got a painting that this kid had painted, and it's of a dog, and it's fucking terrible. I mean, it looks expensive, though. So the dude's like, what is that? And he goes, well, we're not really sure who it is, but we think it's the next big thing. And he's like, is it a so-and-so? Like, there's all these artists that just have a name, but nobody knows who they are. So he sells it to this dude. He's like, and the dude, he's like, I didn't want to auction it off. I've tried it everywhere in the building, and I just can't find a spot I like. And I think I'm going to put it up for auction. He's like, well, I'll buy it, and you won't even have to give a commission or anything. So he sells it to this dude for $50,000. This kid literally just fucking started painting it like with a paintbrush, like you'd paint walls with and shit. It's a big fucking 6 foot by 10 foot painting or whatever.
Yeah,
that's basically what happened. That's the art story. So this dude went out, painted in his kitchen, sold these paintings for hundreds of thousands of dollars, upwards of millions of dollars a piece for these paintings, painted fucking 20 or 30 of them over a period of a couple of years, and then wrote in his magazine the true story of what a fucking sham the whole fucking art world is. Well, he stepped on some toes, and they arrested him and put him in fucking prison for a couple of years for fraud. But basically, he went out, invented this artist, painted some shit having no fucking artistic talent, sold a bunch of it, and then told the story of what a fool. He made a bunch of people look bad is really what it is. And that's the art story. That's a true story. Look it up. It won't be hard to find.
There's another really good one that just recently happened. He's actually a famous artist. And he painted this painting, and Sotheby's of New York decided they were going to auction this painting off. And it went for $400,000. And so the Sotheby's had this painting in their thing, and they're doing the transfer. They're doing the wire transfer, and they're right there. Everybody's right there. And the person's getting ready to take their fucking painting. And the artist hits his little remote switch, and there's a fucking paper shredder at the bottom of it, and his fucking painting goes into the paper shredder and shreds the painting completely up. So there's no painting. Technically, the check had already cleared. Now, the artist at the time was like, "I'll give you the fucking money back," but the person who bought the painting was like, "No, I just want the painting as it is." So it just depends on, and it depends on who's
shredded, or was it all?
No, it was shredded like a motherfucking like a piece of paper. But the reality is, the reality of that is they just set precedents. So because that went for $400,000, they set the precedence on the value of that fucking piece of art. So it doesn't matter if it's worth anything. So this is worth nothing until somebody wants to pay $400,000 for it, and then we're setting the precedence. Until everybody in the art world goes, "Hey, that's just some bullshit," which they won't, because the precedent is set for all those
all
paintings.
The other dudes with the bullshit.
Everything. I mean, you think about all the Da Vinci paintings or any of the the really famous painters. They didn't get no money for their paintings. It wasn't until 100 years later where everybody was paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for their paintings.
The real question is, when are you going to start appendix carrying a black powder pistol, John? Nick Primo said that. Nick, as a felon, that's a myth. That is no longer the case, that you can still carry a musket or black powder or whatever. It's anything explosive propellant. As a felon, you can use a compressed air rifle or pistol, but you cannot use a black powder, smokeless powder, any of that shit. Now, state law says you can. Federal law says you cannot. Could I do it in Tennessee? Probably all day long, and it's never a problem until the first time it's a fucking problem.
Until the feds are here.
Now, compressed air rifles, they've got compressed air rifles that dudes are shooting fucking water buffalo with. They're shooting bison with them. They're shooting grizzly bears with them. All kinds of predators. They got some fucking rifles out that look like real fucking guns that are compressed air rifles that literally shoot. You use a reloadable bullet from a 357. They got a 40 cal. They got it all the way up to a 50. And they're killing fucking big game just like normal hunters are. Thoughts on the Gestapo Oregon 501 bill? Never heard of it. Have you?
I'm sure it's some sort of gun grab. Until people in Oregon stand up and defend their right, and
they're not going to. Oregon is the new California.
Until those people stand up and defend their rights, it's just a downhill from there. I mean, they will. Here's the thing about liberals or communists in general. They will take until someone punches them in the fucking nose. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take some stand-up Oregon guy out there in Bend, Oregon somewhere, in the middle of nowhere, that's going to be like, fuck you, you can't take my guns.
Think about it. All the people passing those laws, they all have security with guns.
Yeah.
All their security has guns. They live in the fucking castle. They live behind the gates. They live in the gated communities. They have fucking Secret Service details. They all have guns around them. Every fucking one of them. All this stuff about taking your rights away and shit, somebody was asking about that on the, I think it's later in here. It's not about taking the guns away. It's about taking your ability to overthrow them away. That's what it's all about. If you really look at Agenda 21, they tie it all together very well. It's the whole thing. Live in an apartment, live in a tall, skinny building. They call it modern, they call them stacking packs. Live within a mile of your work so you don't need a car. Now you can't travel. Now you can't escape. Your entertainment's all right there. All your food is provided to you. There's no place to grow any food. Move all the farmers off the farms into the city. Give them normal fucking jobs. All your entertainment, you're contained. If you look at all the aerial views of all these cities, look at all the noise abatement walls. Those walls are 20 and 30 feet tall now. If you look at the aerial views of those walls, they can lock fucking Las Vegas down. They can lock all your modern fucking cities down into corridors and restrict your movement. Look at the fucking highway. All the fucking highways in Las Vegas, I just say Las Vegas because that's a good example. We recently saw that. But all of those walls, they can close all that shit down. They can control everywhere you go. And that's how all of your fucking cities are now. And that's the whole thing with taking your gun rights away. They are patient. They are setting you up for the next generation, the third generation, the fourth generation. It's not about you. It's about your kids. It's about your grandkids. They're going to know a different way of life. They're not even going to remember this. All the shit our grandparents could do that we can't do now, imagine what we can do that our kids are not going to be able to do, or our grandkids. And they're not even going to know it. Because you're allowing them to educate and indoctrinate your kids. That's the whole thing. They're very fucking patient. Hitler didn't come in and take the Jews' guns away. Hitler dosed them all and just fucking retarded them. He literally poisoned the wells. What did he poison the wells with? Fucking fluoride. He didn't take the guns away. You registered them. We need to know what you have. We need to know your assets. He knew right where to go and get the gold and the paintings and all that shit. He knew where the guns were. He didn't take the guns away. He issued ammunition. You were only allowed to hunt, and they would only give you 5 rounds at a time. That happened over fucking decades. It happened fucking over years and years and years. The guns were no good because they didn't have the fucking bullets for the guns. Being from Arkansas, I've heard more than a few times Bill Clinton was JFK's love child. This is the reason for all of his success.
JFK's love child. Who was the mother? JFK's love child. Maybe. I don't know. The two of them were kind of alike when it comes to their philanthropy.
Of the $58 billion, at least half went to tech companies various Democrats are connected to. The government pays for R&D that never happens. The money gets kicked back to the Dems' campaign coffers to their relatives. While I agree with you, it's not just the Democrats. It's fucking all of them. The Democrats and the Republicans really are the same fucking people. This is a fucking WWE, WWF show. It's the same. It's a puppet show you're watching. While we say we like Trump, while I say I would go vote for Trump, that's the first president that has ever fucking run for president, and I wouldn't have voted for him this last time. He legitimately has done some shit that has affected my life in a positive manner. He is the lesser of the two evils for sure. But it's all, we say Democrats, your Republicans are getting the same fucking thing. If you look at them, how much money's in their fucking bank account, and what is their fucking job pay, and how long have they been doing that job? It's the same fucking group of, they're all at the same fucking orgies.
Yep, they're all at the same watering hole.
These people bitching about the price for Aimpoint, EOTech, and Trigicon have never relied on the optic to keep them alive. They are not cheap Chinese-made crap. I would agree with that, Ed. I would agree with that. Do you want to take a gun show? Like, do you want to take a gun show optic or a Walmart optic to fucking Afghanistan with you? Of course not. Is it fine to put on your Ruger 1022 to shoot at squirrels? Maybe. I buy high-end shit. Like, you don't have to make that argument to me. I got fucking really expensive watches that fucking, I don't even tell time on. Like, I have real fucking Trijicon and aim point and all that shit on all my airsoft guns. Like, I have all that shit. I've broken all that cheap bullshit on fucking just fucking around with the kids out here. I mean, Josh Wiener sends me a link to something, I don't know. So it looks like a sewing machine. Red Dawn was 1984. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache.
John has a long mustache.
Do you guys think the Democrats will run a female candidate for 2020 president election and play the toxic masculinity card?
Shit, they've got...
Seems like the left has been using that strategy
a lot. They got eight already.
Eight female candidates?
You
don't think it's going to be Hillary again?
Hillary's throwing her hat in the ring too, but Kamala Harris...
She's what's going to fuck them up.
Yeah, Kamala Harris is the one to watch. She's young, and...
What color is she?
She's black.
There you go.
And she's a woman. Kamala Harris is the one to watch. The good news, though, is what most people don't. What most people might not understand, or I don't think the Democrats understand when they do this. They've created. There's all these people running for. There's all these people running to be the Democratic nominee for president for the Democrats. So you have a whole big field. You got fucking all these people that are trying to run for president. The good news for us is that what it does is it fractions the Democratic Party into all these tiny little parties. You'll have the Kamala Harris, the Cory Booker. You'll have all these little parties that will want their candidate to be the President of the United States. And they're going to slugfest it out to get their guy to be the President of the United States. The good news for us is, usually, when it happens like that, when things are so fractionalized like that, when Kamala Harris becomes the candidate for the Democrats, all the people that wanted Hillary to be the fucking candidate are going to be like, fuck, man, we worked so hard and fuck it, I'm just going to go home. Bernie Sanders people, they're going to be like, fuck, if the Bern is not the man, then we're not going to vote either, and they're going to go home. It's just going to reduce the amount of people who are actually going to turn out for the presidential election. So it's actually good for Republicans that the Democrats have 90 people trying to run for fucking president.
Plus, none of that matters. When Trump legalizes weed here in the next few months, fucking...
God, but Trump.
Not because we smoke weed.
I no weed at all, and I'm telling you, I want to see all the Democrats melt down and talk about how the war on drugs is a good thing and how fucking weed is terrible and it shouldn't be legalized. You're going to see all these Democrats trying to fucking... I don't know how he does it, man. He gets them to defend the damnedest things.
5540, the look on Skully's face with regards to the JFK assassination says it all. Even all these years later, it was a very dark day in history. A lot of people say fucking Bush had something to do with the assassination. With regards to the news sources, you mentioned yes. Here in the UK, many people look at RT News, yes, that's Russia Today, for a wider view of news outside the party line being spouted by the BBC in the UK. Once more, and I say this all the time, thank you again, every continued success and happiness to you all. That's your boy Daniel Marshall.
RT has some good, like, RT's, I've cruised through there, man. The Weather Girls are the best. Actually, no, the Weather Girls from the
you guys got to remember the
UK
news and the United States news, same motherfucking people.
BBC is usually a little bit better than Fox News. But RT, if you're talking about a story about, I don't know, Venezuela or... you're going to get more news and you're going to get it from a different perspective. But the problem is, it's still attached to Russia, and they're not going to write a story that doesn't make Putin look good. They're not going to write a story that doesn't make Russia look good. So, it's one of those things. It's good to see what the other guys are talking about because it'll give you a little more perspective. Same thing on, when I watch MSNBC or whatever that fucking channel Rachel Maddow's on. God, It's so hard to watch her though. I watch that stuff all the time just so you can hear what the other people are talking about, so you know what the real problem is. There's something in the middle there. So
I watched a video today on the Venezuela meltdown, and it said that actually could be the trigger point to a world war or a problem between us and China and Russia, because China and Russia are heavily invested in Venezuela, while we most likely are the catalyst for them melting down, and that's our guy that we're backing in there, I guess, and that could be a fucking trigger point.
I don't know. I think we're closer in Syria than we are in Venezuela, because once again the problem with Venezuela is the same problem with everybody had in World War II.
I heard 10 million% inflation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Weimar Republic again.
Yeah, it's crazy. The same problem everybody had in World War II. You have to have a surface fleet that can project.
Everybody screaming humanitarian. How about let them humanitize themselves. Let them fucking throw that government, stand that government up. Let them do whatever the fuck they're gonna do. And how about we fucking stay home?
So I don't think there's not gonna be any troop interjections with us down there. Not regular infantry guys. There may be some spooks down there. I'm sure.
Now that we're selling China rice, China can fucking airdrop some rice for them.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's spooks down there right now stirring the pot. But
that's exactly how it happened. Daniel Marshall also says expensive high cocoa content chocolate on the challenge is on. Oh, the challenge is on. Hillbilly Psycho. Instead of y'all, I'll use you people. I like it.
You people.
You people. I like you people. Who are you calling you people? I love your ideas, especially the customer rant videos. What advice would you give someone just starting out trying to figure out how to get their product or service seen by potential customers? Jesse Whitesit. Are you selling fucking illegal pussy? Are you selling dope? Are you selling your wife's macrame? Are you selling finger painting? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I need to know what... You just asked a question that could have a billion... How about this? It depends. As Jack Spirko liked to say. Jesse, like, to give you a real answer, like, on the next video or something, like, leave some info. We can talk about that. I can throw some ideas to you. As far as customer rant videos, we had a dude on Thursday or Friday... We sent his belt out in like a day or two. He had his belt. He's like, hey, there's some mistake. I ordered a Coyote 1.5 Cobra belt. You guys sent me an OD belt. And I said, well, it is an impossibility that we sent you an OD belt. I said, take the belt outside, look at it in the sunlight, and you will see that it is, in fact, Coyote in color. I said, it can't be OD because OD 1.5 scuba webbing doesn't exist. In 20 years of building these belts, there's never been OD scuba webbing. We have our webbing actually made for us, and we have never had OD made because we don't have a demand for it. For every 1,000 black or Coyote, we get one dude asking for OD. So there's no way it's OD. The thing is, you're colorblind. Like not at all to be an asshole. Red-green color blindness is the most common, and you're actually not colorblind. You're color sight deficient is what it's called. You just can't differentiate the colors. But if you take it to your wife or your next door neighbor and go, what color is this? Without interjecting in it, they're not going to say fucking green. They're going to say Coyote. Tan. So that's the deal. So I tell him this, and he goes back and forth. He's like, well, this isn't what you sent me. And he sends me a picture off the website, one of the dozens of photos on the website. And I said, that photo was taken in complete darkness with a flash. I personally took the photo. I said, if you take your belt outside and look at it, you will see that it's Coyote. So he does. He's like, fuck you. Since you want to be a fucking asshole, shoots a video, right? So I take his video and I post it on Facebook. There's 385 comments on that right now on Facebook, and there's just as many on Instagram. And then without fail, you'll get a couple dudes that are like, well, you're still both wrong because you shouldn't berate your customer like this. I said, what's my customer's name? Who is he? Do you know him? Are you the customer? Is that why you're taking issue with this? Because all I did was post a video. It's cool this dude fucking cussed me because I didn't fucking cuss him at all. It's cool this dude fucking cussed me out and was mad. All I did was bring light to his cause. But without fail, there's always dudes that are like, well, I run a business too and this isn't right and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck ever, dude? The difference between you and I is You're on my video while you're running a successful business. That's how you never see a dude running. Like, you won't ever see me out on some dude's fucking Facebook page or social media talking shit about something he posted. You know why? Because I got real shit I'm doing. Unless somebody tags me in it or it directly is about me, you won't see me fucking show up. You won't see Andy Frisella show up. You won't see Sean Whalen fucking show up. You won't see somebody show up who has anything going on in their lives to take issue with that. So I post those videos. Like, it's kind of like fishing. We don't know what kind of fish we're after. We're just in a boat and we're fucking throwing chum in the water, and one of those little bitches comes along. See, that's what makes that shit go viral. It's not the dude that fucking sent me the video and me posting it. It's that 385 people have commented on that. And then the couple dudes that show up and they comment 20, 30 times while all the other dudes are like, fuck you, you know, John's doing this is John's channel, this is John's page, nobody knows who you are. That's why we do that shit. Would that work for this dude who asked about, you know, whatever he's selling? We don't know. And like, you legitimately, I see guys that start brand new businesses. I don't know that I would do this as a brand new business. You have to remember, when I started doing this, we'd already been around 20 fucking years doing this. When I came home from prison with zero and started over, we grew pretty quickly because I knew how to grow it. We'd already made all those 20 years of mistakes. So I see guys, what?
The video's funny, man. If
yeah,
go look at the video, just watch the video. If you didn't know that it was real, you would almost think that it was a spoof, because he's like, fuck you guys, this belt is green, and he's going outside and waving it around, and it's totally Coyote, and he's just, this belt is green, look, it's green, and he's doing his thing and it's green. It's like, dude, are you spoofing? Are you just trying to be funny? Because you know that fucking belt is Coyote.
Yep. I don't know who all is not getting paid. However, I do know my cousin is in the Coast Guard and they aren't getting paid. That was the other thing. The dude that was talking to Pelosi and talking about how the senator from Colorado was fucking screaming at him and just fucking being vulgar and rude and shit. He's like, all we came in to talk about was paying the Coast Guard. We didn't.
Yep.
We weren't talking about the wall. We weren't talking about doing anything other than if we can sign this, we can pay the Coast Guard today. That's what that was all about. MAGA kid. They're gonna bankrupt the USSR, and when the trap slams shut, there will be shock and awe. When the average American, including the soldiers and veterans, realize their life savings is worthless, gone, Kroger's, Walmart shelves empty, nothing else coming. I don't know what we're talking about right there. I have no idea what that was about. Reef Kennedy. And they aren't getting paid. They're going to bankrupt the USSR and then trap slam shut. How is our government shutdown going to bankrupt the... Maybe I'm missing something. Once again, killer podcast, guys. Keep it up. This is for Skully and John. If you could only carry 3 weapons into battle, a long gun, a sidearm, and wild card, what would be any firearm? A wild card that could be any firearm, what would they be?
I would carry my M40 sniper rifle in my... I can't think of the name of the pack that I would be using.
Everstock?
No, yeah, Everstock, because I have one. I would have my M40 in there.
Does it weigh 28 pounds?
No, it doesn't weigh 20.
The Everstocks I saw.
It doesn't weigh 20.
Heavy.
The ones we got are they're like the...
Are you sure it's Everstock?
Yeah. The one we have, it's not heavy, but they made it. These had to have been like the original ones. Yeah. They made it out of materials that you're like, dude, this is like for a JanSport backpack. You know, just the webbing and stuff. It wasn't military grade in any sense. But you know, I would carry my M40, M4 carbine probably, and a pistol of some sort.
Beretta.
Well, no, I probably wouldn't carry Beretta because I'm sorry, Beretta, but your fucking American-made magazines suck.
You wouldn't go Beretta.
I wouldn't go Beretta. You know what? Honestly, I'd probably carry the 1911 Kimber Warrior. It's the fucking best shooting pistol I have. So I'd probably carry that. There's a lot of when you're talking about going to war. There's a lot of parameters there.
I'd get a fancy one, like a
Like
Deadpool
what? Like a FAMAS?
a Turan tactical.
Deadpool carries goddamn Barrett, or he carries. He's a
USB?
Desert Eagle.
Desert Eagle.
Yeah, he's a Desert Eagle guy.
No. It's called Deagle now.
Oh, Deagle. I forgot the Deagles.
The Deagle.
He carries dual Deagles.
Typically, that's fun.
Yes.
It sure is nice weather.
It sure is nice weather.
It's like Deagle.
Deagle.
Once again, Killer Podcast, we did that one. Your sense of humor has come out in this one. It has definitely made it more enjoyable to watch. Got to be talking to you.
No, you got to be talking to you. I'm not funny.
Asleep in the alley.
I'm not funny.
Let's get John and Skully to Joe Rogan experience.
No.
Well, I see you guys say that all the time. What do we have to offer fucking Joe Rogan?
Yeah. I mean, I could tell him that he's wrong about it. There's like 100 things.
He's a liberal.
There's 100 things that Joe Rogan has put up on his podcast that are 100% wrong. Like, Joe, a 50 caliber bullet will not kill somebody if it does not hit them, period. It can't pass by your eye socket and kill you. That deer was actually hit in the eye socket. That's what killed that deer. The whole myth about a bullet passing you, a bullet, I don't care how fast it's going, it just passes you. That's all it does. There's no super concussion or anything like that from the 50 caliber round that will knock you down. It'll just go right by you.
It's tax season. Let's get some SOE gear, guys. Maybe they will make a Crisco blue belt. We do. It's called Royal Blue.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Royal blue with red thread.
Fake information says, this is probably going to be fake information. We shouldn't even read it. Another big reason for China not to want to pick a fight with the U.S. is that we are their best customer. We are by far. That's true. If you're selling crack, you don't want your crack fucking heads ODing.
They own most of the. They are the biggest investor in the United States. So the Chinese own more of our debt than any other country, to include us.
Also, look up Chinese country inside the United States. Just look that up.
But the thing you need to understand is when two factions decide that they are going to be warring, none of that fucking shit will matter. None of it will matter. Not how much of their GDP is, not how much of their product is sent to Walmart, and not how much of our debt is owned by them. If we decide to slug it out in the long run, we'll do it.
It's about being right in the fucking. If there was nobody watching, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
We are by far the number one consumer of Chinese goods. They would be destroying their own economy by going to war with us. Even if it wasn't a war and just a trade embargo, it would still cause complete nightmares for them financially.
Well, they have agreed to a lot of Trump's trade stuff. They're going to do.
We're selling them fucking rice.
I can't remember how many billions of dollars they're supposed to be buying of American product here shortly.
Abortion survivor 5562. John, I am best friends with two Border Patrol guys at Tucson Station. At Tucson Station, they are not getting paid right now, but after the shutdown, they will be paid in full, including people who were furloughed and not working. They are pissed, but most of these people are living paycheck to paycheck because they are outside of their means. I don't feel bad for those people. They work in an unstable. I don't feel bad for these people. They work in an unstable career affected by politics. They should be prepared. Government should pay its agents during shutdowns, seeing as they do a dangerous job. A janitor, a receptionist can miss a paycheck, in my opinion.
The only people who should not be getting paid are the fucking politicians, period. Everyone else should still be getting paid. Nancy Pelosi should not get a check. Ted Cruz should not be getting a check. Those are the only people who should not be. Everybody else should be getting a paycheck. It's just those assholes, because those are the ones who are not doing their job. Your Border Patrol agents down there on the fucking station right now, sweating their fucking asses off, waving fucking cars through, breathing up all that smog. They are doing their jobs. It's the politicians who are not doing their jobs. Send that information to them. Get them to do their fucking jobs.
I was listening to episode 10 around the 5730 mark, and
5730.
You and Skully are referring to how interesting the future is going to be with the government's capability in technology field, and it sparked a question, my own question for Skully.
Okay.
What is your opinion of Edward Snowden? Is he a traitor? Without Edward Snowden in the world, how will the general public, without Edward Snowden in this world, how will the general public, without Edward Snowden's in this world, how will the general public ever know what their government is truly doing? We probably wouldn't be having these conversations we have if it wasn't for Edward Snowden.
Let's put it this way. Edward Snowden agreed to terms when he went to go work for the NSA. He agreed to terms. Those terms come with consequences. Now, if you feel so righteous about doing what you're going to do as far as leaking information, if you decide, you know what, this is too heinous, I'm going to leak this information to the public so they know what the government is actually doing, so they know that the government is doing this to me, you have to do it with the idea of those consequences. You have to do it with the idea of those consequences. Meaning, you know what, I'm glad that Edward Snowden leaked that information. He really didn't leak any information that I didn't already know they were doing. But I'm glad that Edward Snowden leaked that information.
It got him to fucking admit to most of it.
Should he be free of those consequences? Nope. He stepped out. He stepped into the arena. He wants to fight with the lions. He's got to take it on the chin. Now, from a public standpoint, it's us, right? It's us. It's we the people. We the people. We the people could force the government to allow Edward Snowden to receive no punishment. We, the people. We could do that. But you're not gonna. You're not gonna get up out of your chair. You're not gonna leave your house. You're not gonna go to fucking Washington, D.C. And you're not gonna rattle the goddamn fence and tell them that you think that Edward Snowden should be, let free. You're not gonna do it. So if they feed Edward Snowden to the lions, he knew that there was punishment involved. So, hey, you got to take it with a grain of salt. If you decide you want to take that chance, it's not my responsibility to protect you. You're the one that's stepping out into the arena. I mean, I'm glad he did, and that's true courage. He's got true courage by doing that. But once again, there are consequences, because you can't just have every hippie that works for the NSA decide that they're just going to leak all these secrets. I mean, example is that frickin' army retard
got a sex change.
Who's got a sex change.
Leaked some information.
He was not leaking any information that helped you in your daily life. As a matter of fact, all it did was made it harder for the people that were actually doing the jobs overseas. So you got to take it with a grain of salt, man. If you decide that you're going to leak, classified information, you have to throw yourself at the mercy of the court and hope that what you did was actually the right thing to do. But
along those lines, while we're talking about that, because around the same time came out the dude from the Silk Road that they have in prison right now. He is in prison on testimony from an FBI agent who embezzled money from that case, and who is also now in prison, and they would not let his lawyer put forth any of her evidence. Like, that dude's in prison for 30 years or some shit. His mother's going around on speaking tours, and the story is absolutely fucking insane. But their whole prosecution and his sentencing and his fucking conviction relied on the testimony of the FBI agent, who is now in prison themselves. Both of them. Like, look that shit up. That's some fucking crazy shit. Check that shit out. Love the podcast. Been watching your videos for several years now. Always on point. Always entertaining. I used to want to meet Marcus Luttrell before I died. Now I want to meet you, John and Skully. Marcus Luttrell, if you buy his book and show up and stand in the fucking 10-hour long line where he's at, he will shake your hand and sign your book. On the other hand, you can come here any day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
If you bring my book, I will sign it.
Meet Jeff and I, and we'll actually sit and we'll stand and talk to you, and we'll eat lunch. Another great one. Yes, my next door neighbor is management at NASA.
Stop putting them behind.
I'm good. That's it.
Then you reread them.
That's it. This is the last one.
Oh, is that the last one?
You just stand over there in your fucking corner.
Well, come on. You
keep
just
stand over there in
the
your
same
corner
shit.
and shake fucking bags. Yes, my next door neighbor is management at NASA, and she's been off during the shutdown. Midafitsu versus Midafitsu US. Keep up the great podcast. What would we do without NASA? Because I guarantee you they're still fucking tracking the fucking meteors.
Hey, NASA just recently talked about they found another repeating signal. So NASA just secretly was like, hey, guess what? There's another repeating signal coming from this planet that we've identified. Nobody has
Said shit about it.
It was kind of like one of those things, and I'm wondering if...
Do you guys not realize that NASA didn't find that anyways? It's a dude listening to the fucking radio fucking antenna relays.
It's the funny thing is, I wonder. I was talking to Chef about this. Like, what happens if we get a signal from outer space that comes in? It's a legit signal, and then all the top scientists, they all get in there and they do the math and they figure it out, and the message is, it's really hot down here, our feet stink. Would they tell us that they received a message from another planet that just says it's really hot down here, our feet stink?
They wouldn't. Fuck no, they wouldn't. I've been watching Don Shipley videos, the ex-SEAL who busts all the stolen valor phony SEALs and exposes them. It's my fairly rife. It seems fairly rife. Have you guys come across any phony military guys over the years? Not like legit dudes that like true like the dudes we've seen, like they're so fucking far out there.
Like in my career, you'll run into guys, and it's usually a guy that was in the military, maybe was even in the infantry. But then when you ask them what they did, they'll say like, "Oh, I was in force recon, or I was in recon, or I was a sniper," and then immediately you just have to be like, "Oh, you were, where'd you go to school?" Bloom, and they'll say some shit that doesn't make sense. And then you'd be like, "Oh, who was your?" And they'll say some more shit that doesn't make any sense. It was fun at first, but like now I don't even. If you came to me and said you were in the same class, you graduated with me in sniper school, I wouldn't even. It's just.
If you look at all the stuff on Facebook, these guys busting all these fucking the stolen valor guys, right? The dudes that you see rabidly attacking and fucking posting that shit up and investing all that time, none of those guys did any of that shit themselves. It's a pretty bizarre thing.
To me, it's like if your self-esteem is so low that you have to pretend that you did something that you didn't really do. I don't even have time for you. Whatever. Go. You know what? Go to the VFW. Get you a hat. Put all that shit on your hat. Whatever.
We had a girl that worked for us named Lori. We called her Perfect Lori. She was really kind of a piece of shit towards the end. She had a brother who was a real fucking piece of shit. Like, can't work, doesn't work, won't work, fucking drawing a check kind of motherfucker. Told everybody he'd gone to Iraq, came back, said he was a Marine Corps sniper. Well, he fucking ends up someplace where Jay Gibson is one night in a bar. And I'd been hearing these stories over and over. And he came in my shop, and I'm like, "You're a Marine, huh?" I go, he's like, "Yeah, I pretty much carried the 50 cal." I'm like, "The Sasser?" He's like, "What's the Sasser?" He's like, "No, I carried the 50 cal." I'm like, "Yeah, the Sasser." But Jay's like, "Hey, man, no, you didn't. You're full of shit." He goes, "I don't even care." He goes, "You're full of shit. Go away." And like the dude just fucking got his drink and fucking left wherever they were. But there is a dude running around here like that. They're everywhere. But does it affect us? Like, does it take anything away from the real dudes? If they're not fucking benefiting financially, like, whatever. Like, we laugh about those dudes. It's not so much the stolen valor guys. Like, dudes will come in here and say some shit, and like we just laugh at them. We call them locals. I mean. If the militia showed up on the border, been watching lots of Don Shipley. The other thing with the Shipley, okay, it was like, I haven't watched any Shipley video. Maybe I have. I don't fucking know. But how does that better your life in any way? If you're investing all that time, wouldn't you be better off watching something that like spurs you to go work out or spurs you to go make some money or do a little bit more in your life? Like I watch all these conspiracy theory videos. They don't make my life any better. They don't. Like we spend a lot of time talking about that shit. It kind of gives us material and crazy stuff that leads in different directions for these videos. But it doesn't make my life any better watching those. Can I change, like the Pizzagate shit and the pedophiles? Can I change that? No. I can tell you guys about it, and then we become a little bit more aware. Was it harming my life in any way not knowing it? My life was probably better day to day not knowing that shit.
I feel like every week I got to get a rope and just throw it. I just got to throw it down in the rabbit hole so John can climb back out of the rabbit hole. Man, those things they'll take you everywhere.
They've been changing popular use of words since the beginning of our republic. Thomas Jefferson was a classic liberal. Good day, gentlemen. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. 100%. They are changing what words mean. Yeah, liberal is definitely is for 100%. I've been watching lots of Shipley videos. Hey, Skully, what's your biggest bore rifle? What?
It's not me.
Is it fucking rain?
Oh, maybe
we're
it's snowing.
Hey, Skully, what's your biggest bore rifle, non-50 BMG?
Why non-50 BMG? What if it was a 50 BMG? Biggest bore rifle is 308.
Carl Gustav.
No, 308.
Is that a rifle?
Yes, it is.
A recoilless rifle?
Yes. 308 is my biggest rifle.
Allied F-35 have seen combat. If the militias showed up at the border, like they did at Bundy Ranch and the Mahler National Forest, how effective would it be? There are hundreds of thousands of people that say they're willing to defend the border. Make them prove they will.
There are actually...
We out the keyboard warriors.
Believe it or not, there are actually militias that are down on the border, driving in the areas that the Border Patrol cannot... cannot have people there. And they have radios, and they actually... all they're doing is basically spotters. They're sitting out there, and when they have people coming across the border, they'll get on the radio and they'll be like, hey man, there's all these people coming across the border. And then the Border Patrol will send somebody out there, or they'll be like, fuck it, let them get across the border. But there are militias down there right now with guns, in camis, securing the border. It becomes one of those things. What can you really do? You don't have the power of detain. You can't detain anybody. You can't, realistically, you can't even keep them from trespassing on your property
without a kidnapping charge.
Yeah, so I mean, you're just putting yourself in a position that is unobtainable. The reality is, what you really should be doing is forcing those assholes in Washington to do their fucking jobs.
That's it.
That's it? That's all of them?
That's it.
Everything?
Yep, we got shit to do now. It's gonna be dark.
Yep.
It was daylight. Now it is
dark.
darkness.